Well, there we go. A very good evening to you all. Hope you're all doing well. Here we are, week 11. Incredible to think, isn't it? But who have we got on so far? Peter, Mick, Andy, Steve, Graham, Paul, Guy, Tom, Keith, Gulia, Dion, Kevin. Fantastic to see so many of you on already. Hope you're all doing good. Hope you've had a good week so far. Here we are, so week 11. Incredible. Never thought this was going to go on for as long as this. But how are you all doing anyway? You all had a good week so far? All had a good couple of days, nice weekend and all that. But right, do this next song. Little bit of Geronimo. There we go, a little bit of Geronimo, but oh dear, it's incredible, great to see so many of you checking on already. What, we've got 73 so far, fantastic. Only 4 likes though, so that means 69 of you haven't yet given it a thumbs up, which so I might have to play some faster songs, see if I can convince you. But no, it's fantastic to see so many of you on again. So it's incredible to believe it's week 11. It's just flown by, hasn't it? But there we go. Right, let's do this one. Taking you back to, I think, 1961, this one. And it's a little bit of Kon-Tiki. There we go, fabulous bit of Kon-Tiki there. It doesn't get much better than that, does it, eh? Incredible to think when the Shads did those songs, they were only sort of in their late teens, early 20s, which is fantastic. But I'm using the Squire Simon Neil this week. Thought I'd give the other one a bit of a rest. This one's got 11s on rather than 10s. It's a little bit warmer and the strings are a bit more dead. But there we go. Right, let's do this song. Slow it down a little bit now. This is a bit of, just for Angie, this is a bit of Cozy. There we go, a little bit of peace pipe there. Just before that was a bit of cosy. But right, let's have a look through some of your comments. I seem to have missed a few of them there. Sydney, yes, there's 4 new ones coming up tonight at some point, hopefully, if I can remember how to play them. But Guy, these are Shure SRH 840s. They're supposed to be quite a flat response pair of headphones, so they're just great for this sort of thing. You don't get too much bass booming in your ears or anything. Yeah, they're okay. They're a little bit expensive. I think they're about £90, something like that. But I've had them for a little while now, so there we go. Paul, quite possibly. I've had quite a few requests for some YouTube video tutorial type of thing, so yes, that certainly might happen. It's just timing really is the main one really, but we'll see. But Josh, yes, I work for an insurance company during the daytime, between the hours of 9 and 5, and then after that I become a guitar player. But there we go. Do I have a husband? No, I don't have a husband. No, definitely not. They are quite comfortable, Guy. Actually, really nice pair of headphones. Actually, but what are you thinking of the haircut this week? By the way, week 11. Not been cut in 14, 15 weeks now. But good fun, isn't it? Amanda, good to hear from you. Hope you're good. This is a Squire Simon Neil signature Strat, made in China, and they were made for a few years. I don't think they make them anymore, but they do make a very similar version in the 50s with a maple neck sort of one. You can get a similar guitar to this, but not in this colour exact spec. But the Squire Classic Vibe range are absolutely brilliant. I've had this guitar 5 years now, if not longer. Done numerous gigs with it, always in tune. It's just a great guitar. So there we go. Right, someone's just asked for this song, and I'm glad you have, because Kathy asked me to learn this again the other day, and while I've not completely learnt it, I have at least grabbed the tabs and I'm able to play it, hopefully, fingers crossed, straight off the tabs. So we'll see how this works out. Let's find a patch to use. Yeah, I think that's okay. This is a bit of California Blue from Roy Orbison, dedicated to Kathy. Almost. That's a good good little song, that is. But oh, let's have a look at the guys. A lot of questions. Let's go right back. Oh wow, you're back to work, Colin, are you? Fabulous. That's good. Hopefully, Amanda. To be honest, I have no preference over rosewood to maple. I do like the visual look of maple, but this is a great guitar personally. But Pete, any suggestions to a beginner to learning Hank's style? Personally, it's just, I mean, the first song I ever learned was Apache, and I think I've told you guys this before, but I learnt that first part of Apache, and I played that endlessly for months, just that part. Drove my family absolutely nuts with it, but I was so over the moon to get that part right. Apache's probably a great song to start with, really. The most complicated part really in Apache is that the gallop in the middle. But you know, if you've played rhythm before and stuff, so I think you should be all good on that. There's I did do a video on that somewhere on YouTube, how to play Apache with tabs and stuff, so please feel free to check it out and let me know any comments on that. There we go. David, yes, I have the trem cover off. There's a good reason for that, because this floats, this trem. Whenever I snap a string, which happens rarely, but when it does, the trem falls back and the holes don't line up in the back anymore, so I'm not able to get the string out, so I have to take the back cover off. So that's basically the reason why the cover never goes on it. In fact, I don't even know where the cover off for this guitar actually is. But there we go. But Cherry Sunburst Fender Custom Strat. I bet that's absolutely beautiful, Kevin. Cherry Sunburst is a gorgeous colour anyway. But yes, it was a bit of Roy Orbison there. But Ken, that's good actually. It's I do need to get mine cut. I'm debating whether to shave it off or not, but a few people have said please don't, so we'll see. But there we go. Let's have a quick look, trying to catch up on some of these comments. There's so many comments tonight, so apologies if I've missed you so far. But oh, sorry to hear that, Josh. Yes, I'll certainly play that song for you. No, I know what you mean, Rob. California Blue, it throws me, to be honest. I haven't listened to that for a while, and Kathy asked me to do it, so I dug out the tabs, and I didn't even play along with my version. I just went with that. So it's good fun. But yes, there is a little bit of a sound difference, to be honest. This one's a little bit, this has got very dead strings on though. These have got 11s. The other ones all have 10s, and they're a little bit brighter. This is quite a warm sounding guitar, but this is great for the early sort of shad sound because it's got the dead strings. There's a video actually that Paul Rossiter did from the TVS3 guys, where he mentioned Hank playing Apache through the years, and if you listen to his original one, the D string is actually really, really dead when he's playing Apache, so it makes the echo a little bit more prominent because the string's so dead. Whereas as he went on, it seemed to flow a lot better, so he wasn't actually playing each note separately and letting it stop. He was letting it flow, and it's quite an interesting video, certainly worth checking out. Absolutely, Stephen. If I haven't played a song for a while, I often forget. That's been one of the good things about this. Normally when we do gigs, I remember all the songs that we do with the gigs most of the time, but as soon as you don't play them for a little while, it's it's quite frustrating really, because you sort of forget a lot of them. But so it's quite good. Sometimes I have to dig out the tabs and stuff like California Blue and stuff like that. But most of the time, a lot of the main songs I can always remember. I mean, Apache and Wonderful Land and stuff like that is all hardwired into my mind, I think. If I ever forget any of those, then I think there's a bit of an issue there. But Steve, who does my setups? To be honest, I do a little bit. I dabble. This guitar in particular was done by a guy called Ken Leftwich, who sadly passed away about 3 years ago now. But he did it all, set it all up for me, and set it up for 11s and everything. And it's never been touched since. It gets cleaned up, restrung, and away we go. That's it. So yes, hope that helps. It's right. Let's do this song then. This is just for you, Josh. Always dedicate this also to my sister-in-law's brother. It was one of his favourite songs, and sadly he passed away. I mentioned quite a few weeks back now of COVID-19, but this is a bit of In My Life. Beautiful song. But I forgot I actually recorded that quite a few years back now. There was a band around that I saw at one of the Shadows events called Legend, and they were all playing Burns guitars back in the day. But they did a cover of that song, and it was absolutely brilliant. And so I recorded it, but I forgot all about it until. So unfortunately, my sister-in-law's brother passed away, and she happened to mention that he was a big Beatles fan. So I thought, what's a great song that just sort of hits the nail on the head really, and sums up everything that you can possibly say, and that happened to be the song. But there we go. Paul, Day Tripper. Do you know what? I can play the riff, but. There we go. That's as good as it goes. Yes, Mick, absolutely. So I am currently using a George Dennis 1.05 orange pick, shown just there, with the grips. These are the sharps. Absolutely brilliant picks. Hank did use the 1.0, the 1.3s, the red ones. I don't know if he still is, but I've used these for a long time now, and up until a few weeks ago, I was very happy with them. But someone on one of the forums mentioned that they didn't really like them, and they changed the tone of the guitar and various others. And I thought that's interesting. I wonder if I'll get some other picks and compare anyway, just out of curiosity. So I did. I picked up some Fender Heavies in these amazing colour schemes. Hopefully you can see that okay, just amazing colours. They're about a 1mm thick. And then I've also got a Jazz 3 pick from Jim Dunlop, which is also a 1mm, but as you can see they're quite a bit smaller. And you find when you're playing with this one, it's great for all that earlier stuff, because you can sort of do the thumb harmonic trick thing with it. But yeah, I just find them a bit too small for my liking. I do like the Fender Heavies, but they haven't got a grip on, so I'm still sticking with these, unfortunately. I just think they're great picks. The only one thing I'd give information, I suppose, would be in terms of pick, is a sharp pick with a good point on makes it a lot easier, because you haven't got to move too far away to get the point. But yeah, there we go. Colin, if you're interested, I'm about to order a whole new batch of these, because I'm getting a bit low. So drop me an email and maybe I'll be able to sort you out some. But there we go. But Jungle Fever, I don't know that song, Cliff, unfortunately. Yes, Amanda, I don't know about many years to come. I don't know about COVID. Part of me says things are getting a lot better now, and you know, I've read some reports that say that COVID is potentially getting a little bit is changing in terms of it's becoming a lot less what's the word, less deadly, I suppose is probably the word. It's a lot less it's becoming a lot weaker as a virus. Well, I hope that is true. I don't know how true that is, but you know, things are looking a little bit better than they were a few months back. So fingers crossed. But Steve, I've got the same guitar as you're playing. I don't know what size strings it came with, but you said it's better with 11s for the... Yeah, it's weird, Stephen, I must admit. So I was using my Maple Neck Strat, and I have used it for the last couple of weeks. I recently, literally tonight, pulled this out again, because I haven't played it for a little while, and some people said they preferred the sound of it. I've never noticed much difference in them, but actually now, playing them side by side, or one off the back of the other, there is a very big difference. This is a much warmer guitar, whether that's the 11s on it or not, and the strings are very dead. This hasn't been restrung for a while now. They're really dirty, just disgusting, but they're really dead, and it's for that early shadow sound. That is the key part, I think. Any Shads fans, please check out Robbie Januasa, I think his name is, on here, or Sura Guitar. He has put a video up today where he has done a sequence of video clips using a Universal Audio Aux box, a Vox AC15 Heritage, Fender Strat of some sort, and a TVS3, and honestly I was blown away. He has nailed the sound on every single song like the record. So yes, check that out. But there we go. Mick, these strings are they look like elixirs, but yes, I think they are. That's probably what I put on them last. Normally they're the Darios, but I do remember buying a pack of elixirs and I can't find them, so something tells me they're on this guitar. I don't play any Chet Atkins or Merle Travis, unfortunately. They do, yes, sometimes, Paul. Sometimes you'll need to open the nut a little bit because they tend to choke otherwise if it's designed for 10s. And you might have to do the bridge and possibly the neck relief sometimes, but going from just 10s to 11s you may be okay, but it's personally I'd always get them, if I'm doing anything major changes, then I'll always get them checked out by a proper guitar tech myself personally. But anyway, let's have another song. Let's do a little bit of, what do we got? Do a little bit of Cliff. This is Living Doll. There we go, a little bit of Mr. Sir Cliff there, but it's great track for the Living Doll. Always enjoy that one. But, yes, it's Robbie Januasa. Hoping I'm spelling his name correctly, but I think it's something like that is his username. Might be this, hopefully. But yes, he's got it absolutely nailed. I mean, I've tried a TVS3 before, and it is by far the best modern Echo machine you can get. It is absolutely brilliant. I had one. I bought mine second hand, and I had a few problems with it, so I sold it on to a friend of mine who got it all reconditioned and everything, and it cost an obscene amount of money. But it is a fantastic Echo machine, and but obviously none of that would be any good if you couldn't play the guitar. And Robbie's just I've heard 3 people, I think, in my entire life really nail the early Shadow sound. I've mentioned Colin Price-Jones from the Rapiers many times, and Robbie is just, yeah, it's just on another level. I listen to his videos, especially the one he put up today where he's using the new the Vox AC15 Heritage, and I literally wanted to give up playing guitar because it was just that sound that we all strive and aim for, and he had it in spades, and there we go. I think the TVS3 is about £3,000 at last check-in. I didn't pay that for mine. Mine was second hand, but it is the best, and if I ever get the chance to get one again, I will. But until that time, I'll use the Zoom G3. But this is a little bit of Atlantis. There we go. But a little bit of Atlantis there. But yes, the tabs for California Blue are on my website, www.stevereynolds.co.uk if anyone's interested, along with loads of other songs that I've done on YouTube over the years. But oh, you're all asking for this one again, I see. I might as well, I could just do an entire show with this. It's incredible. Just play this one song over and over. That's oh, do you know what, Cliff? Honestly, it's incredible. I've said it before. I find it quite fascinating, the comments and that I get on YouTube and various other things, because I am just a bedroom player as such. I play for fun. I'm not a professional by any means, but I absolutely love the comments and stuff I get. And as I say, the sound. I mean, Robbie's gear. I mean, I don't know how much he spent on it, but at a guess, I mean, the TVS3 is £3,000. The UA aux box that he uses is £1,000 in the UK. The amp that he uses is probably nearly £1,000 again, and his guitars are probably about £2,000-3,000. So you're talking about £8,000 or £9,000 on a guitar rig, but it does sound magnificent. Mine is a £300 guitar, 100 and something quid echo unit, and a £150 amplifier. So yeah, I find it amazing that but Robbie does nail it. There's nothing else I can say to it really. He's Mick, no, I haven't tried the VST program. I was going to, but I found it too fiddly for my liking. As I say, I use sort of quite a simple setup really. I'm using a Zoom G3X programmed with the Hall's Echo patches. That's pretty. Oh, okay. Oh, I hope the sound's not dropping out. That'd be a shame. But here's a mic over here, so it might be when I turn perhaps. Don't know. That's strange. But I will put. I'll tell you what, Darren. I will put. I'll tell you. Let me grab the link for Robbie now, because you need to. Any Shadows fans need to check him out, because he is. I'm immensely jealous of his sound and everything, what he does. So I'll put a link in the comments for you all there. But right, come on in, let's do it. Let's do a little bit of Saturday night at the Duck Pond, or Tuesday night at the Reynolds household. I must just do a big shout out, I think they're watching, or I hope they're watching, to my aunt and uncle. Bless them, they've been in lockdown for a long time, so I hope they're watching, and I hope they're doing really, really good. Can't wait to see them both again. Here we go, Saturday night at the Duck Pond. there we go. Fabulous, fabulous song. It's, oh, I know what you mean, Philip. Honestly, he's. I mean, Robbie is a very talented person. He can do the. He can do the sound. You know, he sings. He does a lot of backing tracks and stuff himself. He's a real top dollar player, and I have nothing but admiration for him. I really do. It's right. Here we go then, Josh. Just for you, bit of Telstar. There we go, a little bit of Telstar just for you there, Josh. Right, did I miss a comment? Apologies, as I say, there's so many comments, I do appreciate it. But that means, unfortunately, I tend to miss some people's comments, so apologies there. But Roger, the Burns Dream is going to come out, I promise. I keep getting sidetracked. I keep looking at doing other videos and stuff, and coming across other stuff. And unfortunately, my guitars are all in a corner of a cupboard, and they're basically the Burns is at the bottom of the pile. So I do need to dig it out, and I'll try and get it out for the next video. Hopefully, I've got a couple of videos to catch up on, and so I'll try and dig it out for you there. Mick, this one has whatever the standard pickups are. I don't know if they're Tone Riders or Ironstones or something like that. This is standard pickups. The only thing that's been changed on this is the block It's got a thicker, heavier block in the back, and I think it's got some Fender saddles on the bridge. Other than that, it's just a regular guitar, gauge 11 strings. It just sounds, it sounds great. But right, I'm going to do then. I'll do Apache first, and then I will do Theme for Young Lovers for you all. I'm going to do Apache on the normal patch that it's supposed to be. I don't normally use that patch, but this guitar's, you might notice I'm digging a lot harder on this guitar tonight because it's allowing me to. The red one, or the other guitar, tends to get a little bit doesn't need quite so much energy to get anything out of it, whereas this one needs a bit more energy today. So I'm even going to use a heavier pick for this, see if we can see how Apache sounds on the proper patch. But here we go. I really don't like the Apache patch on this Echo. It just sounds so dead and dry and just doesn't work for me. It's the correct one, but it sounds like this. I'm not sure that's right actually. I might have accidentally messed that one up, but I much prefer that patch. But never mind. Anyway, someone asked for Theme for Young Lovers, so just as soon as I find the patch, there it is. Oh, absolutely, Andy. I do remember the lace sensors. Hank's first signature guitar actually had the lace sensors. It was Fiesta Red, single ply scratch plate with lace sensor pickups. Apparently Hank didn't like it because it looked too much like the model that Eric Clapton had at the time. So he wanted his pickups changed. He went for I think it was a Seymour Duncan and DiMarzio combination. But I must admit I quite like the look of the lace pickups. I've never tried them, never played them, but Dale, absolutely. To be honest, if you've already used the FV50, the FV500 isn't too different. To be honest, you can pick them up quite cheap second hand. It's a metal construction. It's good pedal. I've had one before, but I don't use it anymore because I've got the Zoom. But there we go. But right. Anyway, Josh, I am using a Boss Katana 50 Mark 1 at the moment. But do you know what? Cliff and Dion, Apache just, it's a weird echo. It should have that dun 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 sort of echo. The only unit I've ever played that has that sound right is the TVS. Again, I keep coming back to the TVS. I've owned, over the years, I've had so many echo units. I've had Alesis Q2, Alesis Q20, Alesis Quad GT, Zoom G7, Zoom G2, Zoom G3, a Magic Stomp, a Zoom 508, Hall & Collins, TVS 3, ESE Echomatic, Vox Long Tom, Vox Short Tom, and Miazzi Echo units. And the only ones that have ever got the sound that I was hoping for and nailed is the TVS and my Miazzi. The Miazzi always went wrong, and always having problems with that, so I sold that on. I will get another TVS free one day. No, Pete, it really depends on the song. I use the bridge pickup for a lot of the shad stuff, but there is a some of the songs like Blue Star and stuff, I do tend to go for the middle and neck pickups and stuff. It just depends on the song, really. But there we go. Keith, I'm using the Argentina patch. I use it for a lot, actually. It's based on a Roland RE 301, but it's just got that sort of ambient sort of echo, and it just seems to work for everything. In fact, I remember doing a gig with my Miazzi once, and I didn't touch the echo all night. I just set it up on a generic echo, and I didn't need to change the echo because it just had it really spot on. Yes, Josh, I do have a Vox AC30 head and a 2x12 Vox cabinet, but living in a flat and recording and stuff, I can't use it. Everything you're hearing here is, this, if I play with the volume on the guitar down, what you're hearing now is as loud as it gets in this room. So it seems to work okay. Martin, yes, there are a couple of tunes that don't use effects. Some of Hank's later stuff, from the late 60s, early 70s, he moved away from the echo quite a lot, and it was quite a dry sort of sound. I'm trying to think of a perfect example, but I can't at the moment. But there were quite a few. If you again watch anyone who's a bit of a Shaz fan, check out the TVS 3 videos. They did a series of them, and they are brilliant. They're proper anorak stuff, but it's just I enjoy reading, enjoy watching those quite a lot. The strings, how far pickups of middle and bass and treble? Mick, I don't know if you can see that, but they're quite probably about halfway between the top of the string and the neck plate, hopefully. But anyway, here we go. Theme for Young Lovers. we go. Yeah. Oh, do you know what, Kathy? San Francisco. Again, it's another song I've not played since I recorded it. That's one of the big problems with YouTube and stuff. We do the songs, we learn them, we record them, and then that's it. That's you literally forget about it, and that's part of the reason why I started doing the tabs, partly for my own benefit. That's basically it, really. But there we go. Sydney, if you send me a T-shirt, I I would sign it, but I'd probably devalue it. I actually had someone ask me to sign a guitar at a gig I did. Thankfully it was only a cheap guitar, but I couldn't believe it when I signed the guitar, and you've just lost money on this guitar by me putting my signature on it. Are you sure you want me to do this? But never, always, if people happy to, more than happy to. Yes, Paul, absolutely. An AC15 Heritage, if you can find one, they're quite rare. They do come up on eBay from time to time, but they were the nearest to the original AC15 that the Shadows had, and they also had a top boost channel, so they had catered for the whole range of sound of the Shadows. And the TVS3, as I've said before many times, the Hall & Collins will get you a very, very close. Will get you very, very close, but the TVS3 still has that the thing for me. And if I can, I'm going to ask and beg my friend Ernie to loan it back to me, just to prove a point. He'll probably tell me to jog on, but and do you know what, Josh? Once lockdown is over, I will certainly be meeting up with Dave Monk again. I've actually got a video that me and Dave did a couple of months back now that I still haven't put up on my YouTube channel, and I probably should do it, so that might come up sometime. But right, let's do this. I've talked quite a lot tonight. I do apologise for all of those that came here for music, but I do like answering people's questions. But this is someone asked just now whether this was going to carry on once lockdown is over. I must have missed it for some reason. I'm not even sure where it's gone. But yes, I would. Whether it be every week, I don't know. But if you want to carry on watching and there's still you're still interested in watching, then absolutely, we'll certainly see what I can do. But here we go. This is the reason why, obviously, we're here. Lockdown, COVID-19, and various. But this is a bit of You'll Never Walk Alone, dedicated to all our nurses, frontline care workers, etc. But here we go. beautiful, beautiful song. Can't even remember what the Shadows did that on. Can't even remember what song it was on or what. But look after yourself, Josh. Take care. Ramon, the backing track for that one came from Shadows Workout something or other. There's if you go onto my video, there's a little thing linked to it, but hopefully that helps. But it's a beautiful, beautiful song. Oh, The Secret of the Sea, Mick. I don't know if I know that one. Ovation. Telstar tab is not on my website. No, it isn't. I've never tabbed that one out, to be honest. I learnt that by ear. But you can get the tabs for that from a website called tabman.co.uk. Put a link down below. Jeff, Isle of Capri. Do you know what? That's been on my to-do list for a long time. It will happen one day, but I'm not sure when that will be. So I did this song the other night. Haven't played this for a long time again, so I'm not making any excuses if this goes horribly wrong. The last time I played it, I used the TVS3, ironically. And it's a song from the Shadows called Tales of a Raggy Tramline. Even with a couple of mistakes thrown in for good measure, I do it on purpose, honestly, just to make sure that you don't think it's you don't think that I'm making it all up. There we go. Right, bit of Sleepwalk, absolutely. I know that one. There we go, bit of Sleepwalk. sorry about that. I got lost. Just got to check this string, this E string and B string sound a little bit like they choke it up a little bit. Seems okay at the moment. Never mind. Right, did someone ask for diamonds just now? Haven't done that one for a little while, I don't think. And there might be a reason for that. Nope, I have got the tabs. Do this, always do this as a tribute to the late great Mr. Jet Harris, who without the Shadows wouldn't, you know, when you listen to some of those early bass lines from Jet, they were something else, they really were. And I think they were quite a key component of that early sound. They were almost a lead guitar in their own right. So this is my tribute to Mr. Jet Harris. There we go. I hope you enjoyed that. James Bond. I don't do any James Bond, to be honest. Oh, it's funny, isn't it? You're all enjoying yourselves. Oh, we've got 122 of you on at the moment, and only 77 likes. I'll have to send Mandy out to get you. Yes, Keith, absolutely. There's some songs that you really have to listen to get that when it comes back, and that one catches me out, as you can think I've done it okay that time, but but there we go. Anyway, what's the time? I can't believe it's 10:30 already. I'm getting too old for this. I was up early this morning. I think I woke up at about 5 o'clock this morning. The sun was coming in through the window. But right, bit of Wonderful Land. Always do this, my dear old dad. his favourite Shadow song, and I can understand why. I think it's just, again, it's an absolutely brilliant song. But here we go. Absolutely beautiful song. But yes, doesn't get much better than that, does it, eh? But, I suppose we better do some of the songs that I've not yet done tonight, I suppose. It's always difficult doing this because, you know, there's so many songs on this iPad that I do week in, week out. I always try and add a couple of new ones just to keep things fresh. But there we go. But, right, let's do a bit of Shadoogie. amongst yourselves for just a second. Just got to make sure this everything's working as it should be. Excellent. That's wow. Dogs and guinea pigs like it. Excellent. I tell you what, there's no doubt about it. You lot are very entertaining. Or crazy. One or the other. Probably a bit of both. Right. This one's dedicated to my good friend, Mr. Stuart Watts. This is The Savage. Bit of the Savage there. Yes, you know what, it's surprising the difference it makes. So the strings on this guitar are so dead, but they are 11s, so they also do have a little bit of a ring to them. So, but you really do need to, especially on that song, you need to really dig in with a pick. But it, you know, it sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't. Anyway. Bit of shindig. as you can say, the strings a little bit dead do make all the difference. But I think a set of 12s on this guitar and a TVS3, and I think I'd probably surprise myself how close the sound came. But never mind. Right, what have we got next? Let's have a quick flick through some of the songs we've not done as yet. Someone's asked for Kingston Town. You all seem to like this one. I must admit, when I first did this, I thought I'm not sure it works, but you all seem to keep asking for it, so I'm assuming it does. So we'll do a little bit of Kingston Town. Just make sure. I can't remember what pickup I normally use for this. Middle pickup will do. There we go. It's got a lovely feel to it, that song, hasn't it? It's Dakota. Dakota's a brilliant song, isn't it? Oh, I don't know about that. Fingers seem to be a bit all over the place tonight, but Right, or can I remember Albatross? That's a good question. It's a couple of weeks since I've done that one, but let's go for it. Albatross. go. A couple of songs played on the trot there for you. Just it's always a difficult one trying to find a balance between sort of songs and talking, of course, because I do like to answer as many questions as I possibly can. But I've seen a couple of rude comments in the thing just now, and you all seem to be asking for this next song, so I better do it, I suppose, before you all start a riot. This is a bit of Old Carol. there we go. Few songs on the trot there. I've no idea how many comments I missed, so apologies. But trouble, these are round wounds, 11s. They're still a little bit twangy for my liking, but yes, it's all good fun, isn't it? Have you all enjoyed yourselves? That's the main thing. It's been a good night again. 11:15. Hopefully a lot of the songs that you wanted to hear. So apologies if I haven't played all the songs you wanted to hear. But there's so many songs that I could do. But I'll do a couple more now, and then we'll call it a night, I think. What patch am I on? Let's have a quick look. Oh, I haven't done Stranger yet. Let's do the Stranger. there we go, folks. Hope you've enjoyed all of those. That was a fabulous song, the late great Mr. Billy Fury, and it was using patch, the patch for Don't Cry For Me Argentina again, which I think is a Roland RE301 patch. I'm going to do two more, and both of these songs I'm dedicating to my dear old dad. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Without him, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't have even picked up a guitar or looked at a guitar. He was an amazing man, and I miss him dreadfully. But this is my tribute to my dear old dad. Oh yeah, well there we go. Thank you very much to all of you for watching tonight. I don't know how many we got up to a maximum, but I know we've still got 82 of you watching, which is absolutely brilliant. It really is appreciated. As I say, this has been week 11 already. It's gone incredibly quick. But I wouldn't be doing this if you lot weren't watching. It would be very boring for me just sitting here on my own. So thank you very much. It is really appreciated for all of you that tune in and write comments and stuff. I do appreciate it ever so much. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have tonight. As I say, there is a little link down below if you'd like to make a donation to St Francis Hospice. They very wonderfully looked after my dear old dad just before he passed away, just over 2 years ago already, which is incredibly quick. But there we go. So, thank you very much all. Enjoy your week. Stay safe. Look after each other. We will get through this. And I'll leave you with the song The Shadows always finish their sets on. FBI. Take care. very much all. Good night. Take care. Stay safe. Look after each other. And I'll see you this time next week. Bye for now.